Hey, Ash here from All Things Dentistry. Thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate your time. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. This is really the place where we love to share those unwritten hints and tips in dentistry, those things that, kind of just show up in day-to-day practice, like, oh, that's a great idea. And today is one of those days where I got this case back from the lab. It's actually an e.max crown. When I was filming it, I was saying zirconia, but it was an e.max crown. My buddy John, an endodontist, completed the root canal a few months ago, and now it was time to prep for the posterior crown on tooth number 14 or tooth number 26. And I under-prepped it. And I know that, it's foolish on my own behalf, but I under-prepped it, I checked it, and I thought I was good to go. But once I did the provisional restoration, I was thinking, oh gosh, and I'd already made my final impression. And that's where this little fix came in. So the lab actually sent me back a preparation guide, a reduction guide, not for the opposing tooth, but actually for the prep itself. And I was totally shocked. And let's just walk you through what happened.
Okay, so I under-prepped this crown on tooth number 126. And interesting enough, I've never seen this before. It's for a zirconia crown, but the lab sent back actually a reduction guide made out of red wax. I've never seen that before. And usually it'll be a reduction guide for the opposing. But this time, it's actually a reduction guide for the actual prep itself. So what we're gonna do, and we'll try it out and let you know how it works. We place this on the prep, reduce it, and then our crown should fit. Interesting. First time I've seen that. And then we'll seat our crown and go from there. So I'm just looking at the gingival contacts. What will you change in the contour of this maxillary first molar crown made out of zirconia? Okay, so after disinfection of this little wax pattern, so it's made out of red wax, we're going to place it on the tooth, and there it is sitting. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to reduce that tooth with a high-speed burr. Now there's no anesthesia. That mouth prop open thing, I don't know if you've used one before. Just found them in the clinic, and they're called Optrogates. They are incredible. So we're I'm not even using water. And again, the tooth has been root canaled, so we don't need any anesthesia for the pulp itself and also during gingival seating of the crown. Now, of course, my hand gets in the way, so you can't see what I'm doing. And I know that this technique is fraught with potential variables of problems with regards to retention and resistance form. Don't get me wrong, I'm not advocating that this is something you do all the time, but I wanted to provide this opportunity for just kind of another idea or way to do it, because the busy day-to-day practice, sometimes you just don't have the time, or it's been impression number 3 if you're a brand new dentist and you're kind of like, I've had enough, I've under-prepped, or whatever the situation is. There's always a workaround. So this is a little bit of a workaround, and it seemed to work actually fairly well. Now I am using resin cement because this is a lithium disilicate restoration, and we can bond it. So we will porcelain etch with hydrofluoric acid, the integral surface of tooth number 26 crown. We will use silane. Then we use Reliax Unisem as a self-etch cement, and then we're good to go. So I also actually included mesial-distal slots to prevent that buccolingual dislodgement of the crown. So we're just going to take that off. So I'm sorry my hand was in the way, but I wanted to show you. So I just reduced the prep a little bit, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to smooth it down because they were a little bit sharp. You can see I have sufficient axial height, so it's 4 millimeters or greater, and I actually have a couple boxes. There's one in the mesial, one in the distal, prevent that buccolingual torquing of the dislodgement of the crown. And then what we're going to do is we'll seat down the crown, and it honestly, this lab, they're called Smile. It's in Canada. They are incredible. It's unbelievable. I couldn't do it better myself. So the crown goes down. Again, it's a lithium disilicate. We're going to try it in, and then we're going to do. So another tip that actually another dental assistant showed me was using an instrument instead of a finger to hold down the crown, so you can get more. There's less things in the patient's mouth. So I'm just feeling around for any marginal discrepancies on the finish line and the margin. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the rest of the video here in high speed so you can watch it. And actually, I would appreciate if you critique any of the technique that I'm doing and see if I can better my technique. So with that, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate your time. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this with your friends. We'll talk to you soon. Cheers.